Now, a KXAN News investigation.
I want to let you know that we will return to coverage of the Oklahoma City tornado in just a moment.
But first, a KXAN investigation raising questions for local county commissioners.
It concerns the questions commissioners asked job seekers when they were filling a constable position. KXAN's lead investigator Chris Willis has the details.
Well, some say those questions asked by commissioners violated constitutional rights. And when applying for a job, most of us usually aren't asked questions about our political, religious, or moral beliefs. We're not asked those questions because they really have nothing to do with our qualifications for a job. In most cases, employers know they can't ask those types of questions, but not in Williamson County. When the Precinct 3 constable in Williamson County resigned, the county commissioners had to appoint a new one. They interviewed 5 candidates, and the questions they asked those candidates during the interview have raised a lot of eyebrows.
Was I for gay marriage or against gay marriage? Next question was, what was my thoughts on abortion? Was I pro-life or pro-choice? I knew the question was coming about church because in the rim of the questions were being asked.
Robert Lloyd has over 27 years of law enforcement experience. He was one of 5 constable candidates interviewed for the job, a job that pays more than $71,000 a year in taxpayer salary. Other candidates have also confirmed to KXAN they were asked about religion, abortion, and gay marriage in their interviews too. And the county commissioners don't see anything wrong with it.
In general, this is a process that's different than a normal employment interview because it is an elected position.
And that is true. Constables are usually elected by voters, but in this case, the elected constable resigned. So the commissioners made the decision, interviewed 5 people in executive session, and appointed a replacement. The decision on who got the job was made solely by the commissioners and County Judge Dan Gaddis. Critics say the law is clear. Questions about religion, abortion, and gay marriage are off limits.
There's no semantical dance out of this one. You can't ask religious questions. You can't ask associational questions. The only questions you can ask are job-related specific questions.
The First Amendment to the U.S. Constitution is pretty clear, and the Texas Bill of Rights says no religious test should ever be required as a qualification to any office. And if that's not enough, the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, or the EEOC, clearly states an employer may not base hiring decisions on stereotypes and assumptions about a person's race, color, religion, sex, national origin, disability, or genetic information.
We've crossed this bridge decades and decades ago, that we don't do this kind of discrimination. This is really gross malfeasance with respect to the taxpayers' money.
They don't understand why they were asked, how it pertained to the job at all. They're not happy about it.
Barry Simmons has nearly 3 decades of law enforcement experience, including years in the Precinct 3 Constable's office.
But yeah, I was born and raised here, lived here all my life.
In the last election, he received more than 48% of the primary vote and barely lost the Constable's election. But he didn't even get an interview when the commissioners made their appointment. He says he plans on running again in the next election.
I think the voters spoke out the first time, and I think they should have that opportunity again.
And after asking about gay marriage, abortion, and religion, commissioners unanimously appointed Kevin Stoffel for the constable's job, a former assistant chief in the Georgetown Police Department, and a man who does have decades of experience. But he also has family ties to the commissioner's court. His brother-in-law, Hal Hawes, is the commissioner's attorney, advising them in executive session. Hawes' wife is still registered as the creator of the website kevinstoffel.com.
Mr. Hawes was not involved in the process at all.
For now, a lawsuit is pending regarding questions about gay marriage, abortion, and religion. As for commissioners exposing the taxpayers to liability, the county attorney's office sent us this statement saying, quote, "There has not been any complaint to this office of a violation of state law enforceable by this office, and we do not generally comment or answer hypothetical legal questions."
It doesn't cut it. It's crazy.
I feel like it might have been just a waste of my time to put in if the selection was made prior to the interview process.
Right. We made several attempts to contact commissioners and find out how questions on gay marriage, abortion, and religion possibly could have anything to do with how a peace officer does his job. With the exception of Valerie Covey, suddenly all the commissioners got very busy and would not go on camera, but a couple did reply by email. Precinct 2 Commissioner Cynthia Long says the Precinct 3 constable was appointed through a statutory process that is political by nature. And she says because the constable is normally an elected position, to not include those types of questions is naive. Judge Dan Gaddis did not have time for an interview either, but said a variety of questions were asked that were relevant to someone being appointed as an elected official. And Precinct 1 Commissioner Lisa Berkman responded by telling us she was in meetings and a workshop for the rest of the week and too busy to respond. Along those lines, Precinct 4 Commissioner Ron Morrison and Constable Kevin Stoffel simply did not return our calls or our emails. So what do you think? Go to KXAN.com. Let us know if you think questions about gay marriage, abortion, and religion should be asked during a job interview. And if you have something you'd like us to investigate, send us an email at investigates@KXAN.com. In the studio, Chris Willis, KXAN News.